Here we go. Sit. And we're coming out of the boundary here, this gateway that leads out to the street. I'm going to actually have him sit a little closer. Okay, sit, just so that he's not in the shadow to make sure you can see him. So we have him sit at every gateway, every curb, every doorway, just like this. Have him sit. He waits there till you come back to get him. You say, okay. If you have a gate that you have to close, just do your little left turn like this. Use your body so you're not pulling him around on a leash. And really, that's such a great, easy move for you to just use your body and he'll go wherever you go. And all you have to do is tap the leash and he'll stop. Come. And then use your come command. We're going to actually have him wait at this curb because we're going to cross the street. Sit, you should be on this side. Should be there. So you can show the dog. Okay. Sit. We have him sit at every curb. This is a very valuable thing for you to do as well. If you're having him sit at all the boundaries, he's going to stay calmer, more focused, be less reactive, and that was your whole issue, that he was really reactive on the walks, reacting towards people and other dogs. And so if you're having him think in all these different places, okay, having him focus and think, that calmness and that focus starts to take over his state of mind, and you'll see that he becomes way less reactive over time. I'm just walking across the street very slowly, almost exaggerating the slowness, just to show you if you want him to slow down, just tap him and walk slow. He's only going to slow down if you slow down. So see how I'm doing it? Just a little tap. And then when you're on the other side of the street, sit. And then you can release him to be free. Go. Now, we're about to get surprised by a dog on the street. Just want to show you what we're doing with Maxwell on the street with other dogs. And we're going to be completely surprised. Oh, there's one. Come. Good. Call him away from the dogs when you see them on the street. So here we are. Come. Always do your recall. Good. So I would back up, just back up that way, but I want you to see me. The camera's right there, so that's why I did that little turn. So see this little dog here right in front of us? You see how we practiced this so many times. Good boy. If he turns away without me having to say come, I'm going to reward him, because that's really ultimately what we want. Ultimately, we don't even want to have to call him to come away from distractions anymore like dogs. Come. We don't even want to have to do that anymore because we practice it so much that he just does it like second nature. Right before you can say the come command, he turns back to you anyway, and then you need to pay that new behavior that's starting, and he might turn back right now. Good boy, just like that. That's what you're looking for. That's a result of practicing this a lot. He sees a dog or anything else like that, I don't wait for him to get agitated. Come, I just call him away. Good. See how I'm doing it on the video? Just do it exactly like this. Make sure that you're vigilant though. You've got to make sure that you know what's going on around you. And sometimes you might even get surprised, but when you practice a lot, we've already done a lot of it, of course, here. You still have like this gap, this period before he reacts like he used to. It's sort of like a fuse. Maybe his fuse is 30 or 40 seconds. Even if you don't see it and he does like that, he may even turn away after you practiced this with him for a while, but even if he doesn't, come, and call him back to you. Good. It's far better than what you had before, which was him moving towards the dog, not being able to control him barking, and you struggling with the leash. And see, even when the dog barks like that, come, you could really trigger a dog. Another dog could be triggered by a barking dog like that. Just slowly go to your left and show what's behind you there. Slowly, we have another barking dog there. And look at Maxwell now. And then we're going to get out of here. Come. So this is really tough for some dogs to do. Good. Like Maxwell, we got a dog there and a dog there, both of them barking. But I'm just going to get out of the way. I'm going to wait till this truck stops this, and then we're going to just keep moving on, keep filming though. And show show the whole scene here. So you have to show there, and then show Maxwell. So this is the result of practicing a lot in these situations, and he starts to become desensitized to these situations. Okay, let's go. We are going to get surprised by another dog. Oh, look, it's a big dog. Come. It's going to happen to you. You're going to get surprised. The dog's going to pop up out of nowhere, and you need to practice your recall so that you have this. He's going to look at the dog. Come. You're not going to let him stare and pull, because staring and leash tension like this leads to aggression in a dog like Maxwell. So you notice throughout the videos how the leash is loose and how I'm doing it, and we're picking different spots to practice here with different dogs. Come. See, Maxwell is interested. Like, we're getting a little bit close there. I wouldn't recommend you do what I'm doing to really test it, because of course I practiced this with him for a number of weeks now. So he's familiar with doing this move with me, and he can do it, but I think that you need to practice a bit. Don't go on long walks. Don't get too far from your house. Just practice in front of your building for a while, so that maybe you have one or two good experiences like this where you call him away from the dog, and then you're done and you go inside. Because you always want to end. See how he's looking at the dog? Come. Always call him away when he starts to stare at a dog. You always want to end on a success, and in the very beginning, it's not about long periods of practicing with a bunch of dogs all day long. It's about having a couple of good interactions and stopping there, because the dog always remembers how it ended, and you'll build up this new history of within him, of him just thinking, oh, I see a dog and mom's walking me, and she says come, and I turn away from the dog. Come. See, that dog's staring at him. Why don't you walk around a little bit, move around a little bit. I'm okay with other dogs. I don't do what I used to do anymore. Come. Good. So you're going to have your treat pouch. You're literally paying him for new behavior, which a couple times on this video you can see he's already starting to turn away, just like that. If I move away, he turns away. Good. Never miss an opportunity to pay him for doing the right thing. It's exactly the opposite behavior of what he was doing before with other dogs. So keep practicing this, and you'll be having this result. Okay. Oh, look, it's a person pushing a weird, oh, it's a dolly, some sort of moving dolly. And I'm not even going to call him away from her, because he looked at her for 1 second and turned away. Of course, we have been practicing in a lot of public places like this with him, where there are lots of people, lots of distractions. There's some people right here. You just catch this, see them coming. Max is here, they're there. Max is peeing right now, but I'm going to say, come. Call him back to me. Come here, buddy. Good boy. Always calling him away from those distractions, even if I think that he's not going to have an issue with them. It's just good practice. Every time we do that, it just that correct, appropriate behavior in that situation just gets a little deeper in him, because we practice it. We're just waiting for people to walk past and carry stuff, walk past. Good boy. See how he turns to me? Just reward him. We're going to back up a little bit more so that I can have room to call him away from people. And I like practicing in a place like this, because you've got all kinds of devices and things that people are carrying, and carts they push past, and the carts are different shapes and sizes, and it's just a great place to really desensitize a dog like Maxwell to all kinds of crazy distractions. And notice throughout this whole video, I'm never struggling with the leash. I'm never allowing him to pull me. It's always loose. If he pulls me, I'm going to tap and release, and he's going to stop pulling. So we're never restraining. The rule is no tight leashes ever, because a tight leash will create more overstimulation in him, and he'll be harder to handle for you. But if your leash is relaxed and you're just tapping and backing away, like that's a big move to make, of course, when you're calling him away from a distraction, you're going to see that he really starts to calm down out there in public. Somebody's coming with a big cart here. They're moving very slowly, but I think they'll get here eventually. Good boy. So we've called him away from people and distractions so many times. I haven't even had to do it today, because right before I called him to come, he turned towards me anyway. A lot of it is, so much of it is body language. You back away and the dog comes your way, and if he doesn't come right away, you just do a little tap and he comes your way. You show him this target, he's always going to come to this target. Good boy, good. So we're here in very close proximity to a lot of people as they walk past. Good boy. And this is way more than I want you to do at first, but I just want to show you what he's capable of now. If he looks at somebody, like there's really a big crowd of people right there that just passed by, come, and people walking past, you want to call him back to you. See how relaxed he is here? Come. He wants to go inside, but I think we won't go inside. Good boy. Sit. Always walk Maxwell up to the person that you're doing the greeting routine with. Never have them approach. Have them sit. Step over to that person. He sees you giving them the treats. This is part of it. He stays in a sit stay. You walk back next to him. He's focused. He's doing this little exercise. He's done a bunch of times. He knows how it goes. He's following the rules. Way less likely to be reactive when he meets somebody, because he's staying in a sit stay and he knows how this goes. We practice this with a lot of people. And then you're never restraining him. If he pops up, you say no, tap that. He'll go back with your right hand. Go say hi. He takes a treat, you say, come, and you don't even have to have, good, and I would say don't have the people pet him. Sit, because we know he's a little bit nervous with new people, but if he just gets used to approaching a bunch of different new people like this in a safe way, in a routine that he's used to, and he feels like you're in charge because you're orchestrating this whole greeting, and just gets used to going to a bunch of different people and accepting a gift, and you call him back to come to you just like this, that in itself is going to make him so much better with new people over time. Go. We'll just do it 3 times here. Come. You get to practice your come command. Right here, silly. Look. Good. You get to practice your sit stay. Sit. One more time. You can practice this. If you do this, try to do this every day with somebody, if that's possible. You can even throw in a little walk around sit stay before you send him over. It just means that he has to focus a little bit longer, in which case that makes his focus better, of course, before you send him over. I just did that sit stay, walk back next to him, go say hi, one last time, come. Call him to come to you. So if somebody's coming to visit you at your house, at your place, since he had issues with some people inside of your space, a dog like Maxwell is never going to be great in, not never, but it's the place that would be the most threatening to meet a new person would be in a small space that he perceives as this is his domain. It's just you and he that lives there. He's going to want to guard you because that just comes so naturally to him. That was part of the problem. So do this outside your building, and then give the person one more big handful of something very high value They go first, you follow them up the stairs into your place, into your main room, and then you do a couple of more greeting routines in your main area, just exactly like this. And I suggest, so that you start developing in Max a new perception of what it means to have a visitor, I suggest you do maybe another 3 times just like this inside your place as well, and then you put him away in your back room in his crate with his favorite bones to chew on, and you let him out when that person leaves. Or if somebody is staying with you, periodically bring him in and out. You have to walk him, take him down for the walk, have your visitor do another greeting routine down there. It just takes you literally 2 minutes, and then repeat the same thing, and then he goes back in there. And so you just do that for a while, and he gets really used to the fact that he's going to be good with people in your space. Over time, you can let him stay out a little bit longer, but I would always keep the leash on him for a while, because you don't want him to be free in the house, and then you think it's okay, and an hour later the person gets up to go to another part of the house, and Maxwell decides he needs to stop them from doing that. He bites their ankle or something like that. That's a really common thing that happens. So for a while, just the bottom line is you need to control, you need to manage him in a way that he's not set up to fail and do what he used to do. And also that in a situation where he's going to settle in, you are set up for success. Because if you introduce him to people that way, you end that interaction on a very positive note, just the way that I described. He'll start feeling differently about people in your space. But you have to really be careful that you just don't let him be free all of a sudden because you think he's better in a couple of weeks, because that kind of behavior takes a while to go away. But if you do it this way that I just described, it will get better over time, and he'll start getting a lot more comfortable with visitors in your house. Sit. When you're doing this exercise, walk him up to the mat, have him sit before he gets to the mat with your right hand, him waiting in a sit stay. You pat his chest and say, go to your mat, walk him over and say down. And if he doesn't go down right away, he's a little bit crotchety. If he doesn't go down right away, just help him a little bit with your left foot. He's smelling the last dog that was on here. But never repeat the command. Most of the time he'll go straight down. And really what's the most important thing is that he has a stay, because developing a solid stay is something that, in general, really the byproduct of doing the types of downstays that you've seen us doing, the sit stays at boundaries where he waits to be allowed to go through curbs, things like that. The byproduct of doing that is that when he's released, he's just a little bit more stable. We're really helping him build up tolerance to stress by teaching him how to focus and think at that level. When you're going to reward him like this, make sure that he waits. Good. You place the reward on the mat, you withdraw, he takes it off the mat. And you're going to be doing this in your living room. We practiced it a few times already at your place. And really, I just want him to be used to, good, used to doing a stay in your place, being used to being calm and centered in that main room of yours. You can practice walking around him like that, which is good. You can practice pulling on the leash with some tension. Good. Most dogs will pop up and come over to you when you do that, but he knows that he's not supposed to get up. Good. There's only one way he gets up, and that's when you release him in that very specific way, and he knows that. And you can even drop the leash and walk farther away. You don't have to show me, but you'll hear me open the gate and close it. It's way over here. And he may pop up. If he pops up, I'll show you. Now I'm outside of the gate. I'm coming back. I'm being extra noisy. So you could walk somewhere in your house. You could disappear in the kitchen or the other room or someplace like that. Come back. Reward him. Good. If he pops up, which he may not do during this exercise here, stay calm. Say no. Take the leash. Step into him. Let's just pretend he made a mistake. I'll show you what to do. So this is the way that he would be released from the downstay. come back next to him. Okay, bring him off the mat, have him sit, and I'm gonna release him to be free. Nope, make sure he really waits until you release him. Go, and let's say that I went over there and he popped up. You're gonna say no, you're gonna walk over to him, take the leash, you're gonna step into him, circle him around, reset him like that. And then do it again. He knows this game so well that if he does make a mistake because you're trying something new that he's not used to, most likely the second time you try it and you say no when he pops up, you reset him next time you try it, he's probably going to get it right because he knows how the game goes now, and now you just be adding different things, trying something out. Once he gets over one distraction that you worked on for a while and now he can handle that, you try another one, find something else that maybe might trigger him to pop up. You always want to be pushing the envelope a little bit with the downstays. Good, because if you're never challenging him at all, the training will get stale and it actually goes backwards. It's not so good anymore. If he starts getting so bored with this, he starts going to sleep on the mat, that's not going to be good. So once he's perfect with all the things that you're trying, start trying something new. Maybe it's going to the other side of the room and dropping a book. It makes a loud noise when it falls, or your keys, or really the sky's the limit as far as the things you could do, the distractions that you could create in your house. Lead him off the mat, have him sit, and then to release him, always a loose leash. You're never restraining. Make sure you're not doing that. Pat him with his chest with your right hand and say, go, and he's free. Always pick up the mat because he's going to want to go hang out on it like it's a doggy bed. It's not a doggy bed. This is a very exclusive place where only one behavior is practiced, and that's a solid downstay. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, he doesn't get up until you come back and release him in the one specific way. Doggy bed is a free time place. He can come and go as he pleases. He can go to sleep there. He can do whatever he wants. This is the mat of focus. So this one's pretty beat up. You're not going to have this mat, but a bath mat would be fine, something like that to use for your mat. It's not to be used to be a doggy bed or any kind of place that he just hangs out. So put it down, go get him, or put him on a leash and bring him over just the way we showed you. You allow him on, you do your little exercise, whatever you're going to do. You allow him off, and then immediately put it away because he can only go on this mat and come off of this mat with your permission.